2017 has been a fantastic year for gamers, with many excellent titles in a variety of genres and platforms. Nintendo released its new console, and with it came fresh and exciting takes on classic franchises. Developers further explored interesting and unique ways to play in VR, with even a couple AAA experiences. Many compelling sequels came out, as well as some truly stellar brand new series to be played. Of course, there was also many disappointments and games that didn't live up to fan expectations. In a year so jam-packed, it was impossible to complete every great game that came out, but regardless, I was more than happy with the games I picked. As us gamers look towards 2018 and the exciting titles on the horizon, I've thought through my top 5 favourite games I've played this year and created a list for this video. So let's get into it, counting down from number 5. Cuphead is a title that immediately stands out regardless of being in a showreel of various other games. Never have I seen an art style nail a form of animation so accurately while being entirely playable. Quite frankly, it's stunning how impressive the visuals are, and the accomplishments is beyond astonishing considering it being a first release for the developers. Every last detail is reminiscent of 1930s cartoons, from the watercoloured backgrounds, static voice recordings, and the grain filter applied over the top to make everything feel old. Its visuals alone are enough to make Cuphead worth a look at, but there's also an excellent and extremely challenging gameplay to complement it. Borrowing elements from many of the best run-and-gun consoles and arcade games, while also including its own additions such as a parry system, create a familiar yet new and exciting take on an old formula. Each boss battle's creative mechanics and design present an enticing reason to try a fight and overcome the challenges they present. That, and the fantastic accompanying jazz music for each stage. The euphoric sense of victory for defeating the hardest bosses presented some of the most memorable moments all year, and is a game I can't wait to get more of. Sonic Mania is a triumphant return for the Blue Blur, and one fans like myself have been waiting for. With many faults in the past or even this year, it only helped make this game stand out even more of a shining example of what the series can be. This isn't just one great Sonic game, but quite possibly the best version ever released. Every single bit of this game's design amplifies the best bits of Sonic and comes from a place of ultimate understanding for this franchise. The 32-bit visuals, thoughtful branching paths, fantastic soundtrack, and fluid movement all assist in making Sonic Mania the complete package. The relentlessness to surprise by constantly throw the unexpected and modify existing stages and bosses is truly a joy to behold. Visiting old stages scratches a satisfying nostalgia itch, but how the game then modifies them and introduces new zones makes this experience feel so much more than a blast from the past. Being on practically every current platform and at such a cheap price, I'm constantly been drawn back, and I'm continuing to find the game one of the best experiences from this year. Horizon Zero Dawn is a technical achievement not only in its stellar graphical detail, but also its storytelling, gameplay, and wonderfully realised main character with Aloy. She isn't merely a badass female character, but also an intelligent, curious, and inquisitive person who is willing to break taboos by questioning the game's cultures and religions. Aloy isn't simply willing to accept her reality, but rather questions what she has been told and seeks out her own answers. Her personality, fabulous voice acting, and also iconic visual design with tribal practical gear and braided red hair has made Aloy my favourite new gaming persona of this generation. The world she inhabits is oh so easy to be excited about and enjoyed. Essentially a fallen society with a lack of understanding for the world before them, the planet has overgrown old civilizations, and with it brought new life in the form of robotic animals. Not only does the mystery surrounding the world and humanity's existence create a truly surprising and distinctive take on the sci-fi genre, but it also creates an excellent excuse to take on enormous robotic dinosaurs. Taking on some of these mammoth creatures presents an incredibly fun and challenging experience that keeps you on your toes as you observe the visual spectacle. Horizon Zero Dawn creates such a strong backbone for a franchise, with many places for the story and Aloy to go, plus the potential gameplay options. It is not only one of my favourite games of this year, but also one where its sequels I'm most looking forward to. Super Mario Odyssey is literally the personification of joy that video games can bring to society. Games have been coming out in the series for decades, yet somehow Mario still manages to feel fresh and bring something new to the table. With Mario suddenly being able to take control of most of the creatures inhabiting his world, the possibility of gameplay seem endless. What years of playing Mario games have taught me suddenly were thrown out the window, with enemies granting abilities that manage to surprise and get me excited all the way to the end. The level design feature for each location makes the most use of each new ability while also greatly using Mario's improved skill set. So often you feel like you're going about your own way to explore a level, only to find that Nintendo had put little rewards in every section of the game to amplify your enjoyment. This catering for players of all kinds is present everywhere. For someone who just wants to play the core experience, to completionists such as myself who want a challenging and compelling collection of extra content, Super Mario Odyssey has it all. The game is just relentlessly fun and jolly and managed to fill me with the same sense of wonder and platforming freedom that Super Mario 64 did back in the day, and is my favourite game this year, bar one. Persona 5 represents the very best that JRPGs have to offer gamers, and does so with an experience that is oozing with style. Every aspect of this game is stylish and attractive to look at, from its menu system to its combat completion screen. It isn't simply one thing that causes the visuals to stand out, but the added detail and effort put into every last image on display makes this game dramatic flair be in a league of its own. Persona 5 doesn't just dazzle the player with fanciful scenes though, but also takes the time to flesh out characters, creating many dramatic moments. Societal prejudice and assumptions of the key cast cause many of the narrative beats and set stage for a darker tone for many of the characters introduced. At the same time, these problems mirror relatable struggles, and a game's optimism and willingness to face an issue head-on creates a touching and memorable story. To complement such a well-developed group of characters and visuals is a perfectly streamlined version of classic turn-based RPG fighting mechanics. By mapping all the main combat functions to buttons instead of lists, the game's pace is frantic yet fun, and manages never to be overly complex while still having plenty of strategic options to choose. It's one of the most intuitive and impressive turn-based systems I've ever experienced, and kept every combat scenario feeling fun and striking from start to finish. The social simulator outside this game's distinctive dungeons greatly complements Persona's themes, and does a fantastic job of making them feel worthwhile to not only build your understanding relationships with certain characters, but also great valuable combat abilities. This clarity between the rewards given throughout Persona 5's different systems strikes the ultimate balance of satisfying system junkies and those wishing to experience a streamlined modern JRPG. As a whole, Persona 5 isn't a game that simply relies on its impressive style and finesse, but rather it perfects many existing JRPG features and expertly combines all of it together with their signature flair to create a masterpiece of a game. Not only is it my personal favourite game of this year in a year so full of outstanding games, but also one of the best games I have ever played. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and let me know if you agree or disagree with my thoughts in the comments below. Of course, thank you very much for watching, and we hope you stay tuned for more gaming and geeky content.
What the?